Attack on Titan was one of my favorite shows. My cousin and I would talk about it all the time, and I think it's in large part because Attack on Titan had one of my favorite characters of all time.
その名はエレン・イエーガー。
So what about Eren made him one of my favorite characters? Well, much like a lot of you, he wasn't in the beginning. In season 1, I thought he was filled with a lot of naivete and a lot of screaming, and there was not much really going on there for characterization. It wasn't until season 2 that there was a certain level of complexity with his character that I started to find him fascinating. Sure, he was seen as the determination in the trifecta of EMA of determination, strength, and willpower seen in shonen protagonists, but like every other shonen protagonist, there were many others to choose from. People like Naruto or Luffy, who people can look up to chase their goals and dreams, but in a much more brighter and sunnier context and disposition. But I feel like in season 2, you really get to see the breakdown of that chosen one trope that we see in Eren, which is why I really started to get to like his character in season 2. Spoilers, people die, like a lot, in Attack on Titan. I think we can all agree in anime, anime is like the medium that like is the torchbearer for this trope of the power of friendship coming in to save the day. However, I don't think Eren really benefits from the power of friendship at all. In fact, quite the opposite happens. I think that the closest thing we get to Eren getting benefits from the power of friendship is being carried by the Ackermans and like the intellect of the different scout commanders at the time. That and of course like the actual teamwork of his friends, but I think that like is an acceptable level of power of friendship without going beyond the scope of it becoming like this Deus Ex Machina type business. But even that's not enough as seen with like Levi's squad where, you know, they all die. However, it's not just Eren's character not having the power of friendship available to him as much, it's the fact that like his friends are actively trying to kill him.
I'm going to return to the home that was taken from me. I will do it, no matter what.
Bertolt. Right. Damn you! You traitors!
The Armored and Colossal Titan reveal is probably one of the best betrayals in anime. Not just the music or the tension in the scene or the voice acting, but just because of how it affects Eren's character moving forward. For a large part of season 2, the problem of there being traitors within the scouts plagues Eren's mind throughout it. Eren has a great passion and loyalty towards his friends to the very same degree as other shonen characters like Luffy, Naruto, and Ichigo, but I think for those three, they've never been so destroyed completely by that loyalty and that passion as Eren has. Eren, out of all the scouts, is shown to be the most trusting of the betrayers. He constantly gave Reiner and Bertolt the benefit of the doubt. Hell, he still gave them the benefit of the doubt even after they told them that they were the Armored and Colossal Titan. Just seeing the support net kind of get dismantled around him, whether it be like the usual scouts dying or it be the Titan shifters betraying him, it was interesting to see this support net, you know, vanish. And I thought as an anime watcher that this was kind of a breath of fresh air. But this isn't why I actually relate to the character. In real life, I have a great support net of friends and family who love me and care about me, and as do I. And communist style, frankly, they sometimes believe in the stuff that I can do more than I can myself. So that's not the part that I really relate to. It's the second aspect of Eren's character that gets kind of analyzed further in season 2 that I start to kind of relate to.
お前のことを弱いやつだと思ってたけど、逆だった。弱いのは俺だ。どこかで自分は特別だと思っていたんだ。だから、他の兵士が俺のために死ぬことも仕方がないって受け入れた。巨人の力だってそうだ。あれほど憎んだ巨人も自分の体だとすんなり受け入れられたのも、その強さは自分のものだと思いたかったから。それこそ弱い奴の発想だ。 これからどうする？壁の穴が塞げるようになったからって、それで人類は救われるのか？俺は特別でも何でもないのに。でも本当についてないのは人類の皆さんだ。俺なんかが切り札でよ。
I think we'd all like to believe we're special. I think Mob Psycho 100 tackles with the idea that nobody's special better than Attack on Titan does, but I related to Eren's internal struggle more than what was going on with Mob Psycho 100. In characters that have been designated as like the chosen one trope, at some point or another they reject that responsibility. Whether it be Aang running away and freezing himself in a block of ice, Aragorn forsaking his lineage, they each take steps to move away from this chosen one responsibility. Eren does actually quite the opposite. In fact, he fully embraces this responsibility that's put on him in the beginning of the show. He embraces it with open arms, in fact, telling people to like rely on him, that yes, he is the chosen one and that they should all just shut up and put their faith in him. Eren accepted that the scouts dying for him was only natural. I mean, he is the most valuable and important, as he is the one that can turn into a Titan. He's humanity's trump card. This idea throughout the scouts and the scouts placing their hopes on Eren was also reinforced through Erwin and even Levi throughout the series, with the entire scout regiment having to risk their lives, costing lives to save Eren again and again. Eren isn't the all-powerful superhero that he wanted himself to be. He's not strong enough to live up to the expectations placed on him. He's not able to live up to what people wanted him to be as humanity's like last hope shining beacon. And he's not strong enough to save everybody. And so defeat after defeat culminated into this moment. Just because he joined the scouts, nothing changed. Eren still got eaten by a Titan. Even when Eren burst out of that Titan with newfound powers, nothing changed. Throughout most of the series, he couldn't even control those powers, and when he finally did, either his enemies overpowered him outright or outsmarted him just when he was about to win. I'm no chosen one, of course, nobody is. But I couldn't help but relate to that aspect of not living up to expectations. I've kind of always had this problem of like this kind of like self-confidence issue and just never being good enough for myself. I don't know when down the line that my expectations for myself superseded anyone's expectations that they had of me, but it happened. It's a problem that I still not struggle with as much now, but like, you know, it's like I have to keep at it. So that is kind of why I really relate to like the nothing's changed moment. Sometimes it can feel like you put so much hard work into like school or work or to your physique, but like nothing's changed. You feel like, you know, you can put so much effort and hours into something and it's still just as far off. I can like work out and go to the gym however much as I want, still not seeing results. Maybe something's wrong there. I can post as many YouTube videos and whatever as I want. People are still not going to watch it. People are not going to subscribe. I can publish 2 novels. People aren't going to read them. The work is there, but the dreams and goals still feel just out of reach as they did before all that work. Now, this is all very depressing, but it's not in Eren's character to give up in the slightest. And like I said, like the whole confidence issue thing is not as much of a problem for me anymore. So like the relating to this character has kind of shifted actually to the next part that we're going to talk about.
みんな何かに背中を押されて地獄に足を突っ込むんだ。大抵その何かは自分の意志じゃない。他人や環境に強制されて仕方なくだ。ただし、自分で自分の背中を押した奴の見る地獄は別だ。その地獄の先にある何かを見ている。それは希望かもしれないし、さらなる地獄かもしれない。それは進み続けた者にしかわからない。
And this is why I never really much saw him as an ideal to strive for, if the past evidence wasn't already not an ideal to strive for. But this particularly did, and actually made him more of a forewarning to myself that kind of knocked me out of that self-destructive thinking. While we talked about how Eren is differentiated from other shonen protagonists, he still shares that same determination and willpower to constantly pursue his dreams and goals. Goals. There's that word again. What's Eren's goal? Freedom? That's a very vague word. What does freedom exactly mean to him? Is it removing the curse of the Titans? Is it finally getting to see the ocean? Is it just the ability to do whatever he wants? What does freedom mean to Eren? I flipped this back onto myself and how this is kind of a cautionary tale and like the beach scene and like what the beach scene means for Eren. Maybe like a piece of symbolism you don't understand that I didn't understand the first time through was the seashell. Isayama, in an interview, I think in some edition of Attack on Titan, talked about how the beach scene was kind of a graduation for Eren, Armin, and the rest of the characters, and how you finally kind of get to see the divide between what exactly Armin was looking for and what Eren was looking for. It served as a reminder that those two characters shared two different dreams. Armin's was to go to the ocean. That was kind of his big thing. Eren's was to be free, to find freedom. And he just related the ocean as, if we get to the ocean, we will be free. When that changed, of course, his goals changed. In fact, Eren was no longer interested in the ocean at all. He didn't even look at the seashell. That's what the whole him not looking at the seashell before is supposed to mean. This to me I took as like a moving of the goalposts, where before I would put a certain amount of work in or accomplish a certain level or milestone, and I'd be like, oh, this is just the beginning. It's not enough. Well, we're just getting started. And what did this lead to exactly? Well, it led to this guy. It led to Eren distancing himself from the people that cared about him and who love him. And I think that particularly in the Western society, where we really, growth and constant self-improvement is one of my tenets. I believe in that full-heartedly. But I don't think people should allow themselves to be so heavily consumed in the grind that like we forget about friends and family are important. People who care, having people around who care about us is important. It is enough to just be 1% better than who you were yesterday, just 1%. To not always having my eyes forward in tomorrow and not in today, to have my eyes not on the horizon, but instead to enjoy the present, to look at the seashell, to be more process-oriented instead of goal-minded.
エレン、これ見てよ。壁の向こうには
海があって海の向こうには自由がある。ずっとそう信じてた。でも違った。海の向こうにいるのは敵だ。何もかも親父の記憶で見たものと同じなんだ。まあ向こうにいる敵全部殺せば俺たち自由になれるのか。